Okay, so without further ado, let me introduce him to us. Okay, so moving on, I am pleased to introduce our next speaker today. That is Associate Prof. Adi Nusalin from Universitas Panchabakti, Indonesia. So, Associate Prof. Adi is noted as the author of several works in marketing management, business environment analysis, English for economics, English for business, English for agriculture, accounting. Then he also studied in consumer behavior, business mathematics based on the Islamic Sharia, Islamic marketing management, government policies role in business empowerment, supply chain management, and modern marketing management for the university. So on the teaching experience, he has taught for 21 years for the at the Faculty of Business and Economics at University of Universitas of Panchabakti, Pontianak. Apart from that, he has taught for 11 years in an international class within the management department at the Faculty of Business and Economics, University of Tanjung Putra. So meanwhile, he has served as the chairman of the management department at the Faculty of Business and Economics, University of Panchabakti. So with this, let's welcome Associate Prof. Adi.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so it's over to you now.
Yeah, thank you. I'm very fine today. Yeah, it is clear. Is my voice very clear to hear?
Loud and clear, Prof.
And also, can you see my picture very clearly?
Yes.
Thank you very much for this I can join this program.
And share your slide. Oh, perhaps Dr. Iswan, you may need to unshare your screen first. Yeah, thank you. So, Prof, you may share your screen.
Is the speaker now?
You can share your screen by clicking the share screen.
It is my turn.
Yeah, it's your turn already. Yeah.
Oh yeah, thank you. Okay, I will.
You may start anytime from now.
Okay. Okay, this I have screen.
Yeah.
So should I begin now?
Yes. The time is for you. Yeah, it's over to you, Prof.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, good morning everybody. Good morning audience. Yeah, so today
Morning.
I want to talk about the quality education. So the complete title is Enhancing Education, No Excellence. I focus on quality education. So I think everyone's in the world so needs education. So education is very important, yeah, in our life. Yeah, by having good education, we can have better life, yeah. So better job, etc. So before I talk about this, so I want to give share my opinion about what is education. So education is a treasure that has the power to shape individuals and communities and entire nations. Yeah. So it holds the key to unlocking one's potential and creating a bright future. So as Nelson Mandela, I think everyone knows Nelson Mandela said that in his quote, yeah, he said that education is the most powerful tool to change the world. Yeah. So when we want to have a good life, better life in the future, so when we want to have good, better job, everything in the future, so we must have education. Yeah, especially quality education. Yeah. So uh, so to get education excellence, so we must put quality education as a top priority. Yeah, only we can produce awesome individual who do not only excel in test and exam, but the students are also able to think critically, innovate, and contribute to society. Yeah, so it is said that the quality education. So quality education doesn't only emphasize the the good achievement in test and exam, but also good quality education can instill the moral teaching, the emotional teaching, like to be so the student get after finishing the study, it's good they can be responsible, so that they can be on time, etc., and they can think critically. It's very important. Yeah. Okay, and then uh, quality. What is the word quality? Yeah, so this is what we talk about quality education. What is quality? So the word quality signifies the excellence and superiority. Yeah, when it comes to education, it represents the commitment to providing the best possible learning experience. Yeah, and opportunities. Yeah, a quality education ensure that all learners receive an education that is meaningful, relevant, and transformative. Yeah, it equipped with the task, the skills, knowledge, and values needed to thrive in an ever evolving world. So this case, we know that. So the student must be provided with good knowledge, skill, instead of skill and knowledge. So the student also must be provided with the values, like honesty. Yeah, so with example, so the student after finishing the study, they apply for a job, and after having got job, so they can work and they can be a good and honest and responsible workers or employees. Yeah, so we must create this situation. Yeah, so when the student later and having a job, and they can be the work employees with have good quality in moral and in having values, so they can so it's mean that they have good quality education. Yeah. Okay, so educational excellence is the important step toward a better life, a better and educated society. And then there's a quote, there's a quote. Quality education is not merely about imparting knowledge, it's about cultivating character, fostering critical thinking, enlightening the path to lifelong learning. In our pursuit of educational excellence, our primary focus must also always be on the quality of the journey, not just the destination. It means that uh, we don't focus on the destination of the education, like having degree, but the process. So the most important is the process of the education in run at school, or university. How the lecturers, how the teachers, teach the student, especially the process. One not only have make the student have degree only, so it's mean that so it is mean that we must cultivate the character, foster critical thinking. And then quality education is not merely about imparting knowledge. Yeah, it's mean that what that is mean that quality education is not merely about imparting knowledge. It's mean that quality education must be cultivating character. Yeah, quality education aims to instill values, ethics, and a sense of responsibility in learners. So after uh, having education at school, so the student is hope to have good values, good ethics, and good responsibility. So the example of instilling values, so honesty, so it means that the school, the university must have a character education program. So many schools must incorporate character education program that explicitly teach values like honesty. So the student must be taught honesty, respect. The student can respect each other, respect the community, respect everyone. and the student also must have good responsibility and kindness. So this program often include lessons, activities, and discussion that encourage students to understand the importance of these values and how to apply them in their life. Yeah. For example, like this character education program might involve scenarios where students discuss and make decisions based on these values. Yeah, like example, so the teachers or the lecturers give the student assignment in the form of group discussion, or project, project case, or study case. So by having this that they can discuss, they can exchange opinion, and they can be taught how to be honest in expressing their opinion, and they can be responsible and respect with one another, and they must be kind to everyone, This is the example of instilling values, Okay, and then what about ethics? So also instead of academic achievement, so the student also must be taught ethics, So we must instill ethics in our education to the student, So ethics related to quality education encompass principle and behaviors that promote fairness, integrity, and respect within education setting. So example, academic integrity. What is academic integrity? So the student during the study, they might not plagiarism, they will not cheat, So they will not be dishonest, in their coursework or assignment. So this is the academic integrity. So as a lecturer or teacher at school, so we must encourage or teach the student to uphold this academic integrity, So they what so we can teach them why the student may not do plagiarism, why they may not cheat. So we must teach the holistic. It's mean that so in school, so we put the subject of like the religions, So every school, maybe in every country, so put the religion into their curriculum, so they can teach how to be honest, how to be responsible, etc. And then the second is inclusive practice, ensuring that all students, regardless of their background or abilities, are treated equitably and have access to quality education. So everyone, everyone will be the person or the individual with disability, or men or women, And so regardless of the background, So they can access to quality education. Everyone must be able to be accessible to quality education. So the countries, the government must accommodate students with disabilities, and providing resources for diverse learning needs, And then the teacher-student relationship, how to communicate with the teachers, between how to communicate with teacher and student, And then so we must, as the lecturer or the school or university, must promote respectful and professional relationship, And then we must avoid any form of harassment, or sexual harassment, and any kind of harassment and then discrimination or unethical behavior at school or university. And transparency, school also and so must be transparent in your policies, decision, and resource allocation, And then resource allocation, and so the school also must have distributing educational resource to all students. That's of the social economy. So all the students can be accessible to textbook and technology, extracurricular activities, and well-maintained facilities. So it means every school or university must have good facilities, must good infrastructure like laboratory, and then like library, and then technology, technology. So everyone, everyone can be accessible to this. So that's all without discrimination. So all the people, whether they have disabilities or they come from socioeconomic background, it's not matter. So all of them must be able to must be accessible to this. Yeah. And then ethical use of technology, teaching students responsible and ethical use of technology, like so how to WhatsApp the lecturer, how to use technology in good way, And so we must be the student must be taught how to use the ethical use of technology. Sometimes if it is is not if the use of technology is not good, it's not good, So when we can instill the values, the ethics values to the students, mean that, and after they finish the study, they can be a good people, a good person, yeah, good individual with good ethics and with good values. And then instead of having good academic achievement, so the student must be also instill a sense of responsibility. How to give the students some by giving homework and assignment. Yeah. So the teachers and the lecturers must also give the assignment. So why? Because this giving homework and assignment will train or will teach the student to be responsible. So they must complete assignment on time. They must appreciate time. Yeah. So it's time management. So the student is also taught how to manage the time. Yeah. You see the aim of giving home assignment. So homework and assignment also we train the student to be responsible. So the student must be responsible. So when they work later and when they when they enter the communities, so they life, they can be responsible. So they can do everything well. Yeah, and then time management, teaching students to make the time, yeah, prioritize tasks and meet deadlines. So we must encourage them to plan the schedule for study, assignment, and extracurricular. So we must teach the student how to have plan, a good plan, yeah, how to make the time, yeah, and then guiding students to set realistic academic goals. So the student also must have goals, yeah, must know what is their goals to study or to go to school or to go to university, and then attendance and punctuality. So emphasizing the importance of attending classes regularly and arriving on time is the way how to instill a sense of responsibility in learners. Yeah, community service. So encourage students to participate in community service project. Yeah, in university, in my university, Pejabat University. So the student must join the community service to the village. Yeah, they have the people in the field to do, yeah, to develop the village. Is the one of the responsibility of the student. And group project, yeah, signing group project that require cooperation. Yeah, it's very important to give the student group project, because in group project they can cooperate and accountable. Yeah, student learn how to relate one another and the complete task responsibly. It is the kind of example of the same responsibility. So if they have three values here, this instead of having good academic achievement, and then they have values. Yeah, values include the sense of responsibility, so they can have quality education. And then a critical thinking, yeah, which is also important, yeah. So in group we can say critical thinking. So and nowadays, the lectures maybe have still used a traditional method of teaching. So they only explain the material to the student. The students keep silent and never asking. So that now we must change the way of teaching. Yeah. So we must inject the student to think, to talk. Yeah. To discuss. Yeah. So by having a discussion in group, so we can encourage the student to think critically. So what the exercise they can, yeah, give criticize, they can give feedback, they can give opinion, yeah, etc. And they can solve the problem, yeah, complete the solution, yeah. And then also the student provide a student the education on financial responsibility, how to budget the money, yeah, how to manage the personal finance. Yeah, it's very important. Yeah. So sometimes this a problem for students. So the student, yeah, cannot manage the money. Yeah, how to manage the money, how to use the money, how to spend money. Yeah, because it is because of their lifestyle. Yeah, how to spend money. So that when they are given money by parents, so sometimes, yeah, and then they don't know how to manage the money. Okay, and then environmental stewardship, promote the environmental security, making students to care for the environment and reduce the ecological footprint. Okay, so we come to the what is quality education, and we know what is quality. We have talked about quality, what is education. Yeah, I think everyone in the world has the same right to education. Yeah, but not everyone is lucky. Yeah, to have access to quality education. So what is quality education? Yeah, but everyone has different different ways in defining quality education. But in here, I want to say what is quality education. Yeah. Quality education is an education system that is able to positively influence the development of individuals, whether cognitively, emotionally, socially, and physically. So whenever we can influence the development of individual, yeah, so it's mean that uh, we have quality education. But if the education system cannot influence the development of individual, it means that the education is not in good quality. Yeah, so quality education goes beyond textbook and exam. It focuses on holistic development. So we not only teach the student and giving the knowledge and the skill, but we must also focus on the critical thinking and then nurturing lifelong learners. So we can encourage the student to learn, to have long life learners. So after finishing the study, they don't stop studying. So they must continue studying, yeah, because the environment is dynamic, the technology change, and now we live in the era of digital, or in the era of technology, yeah. So everyone must have uh, must must have long life learning, yes. So but in reality, so as in here in Pontiana maybe, so after having finished the study, they stop studying, they never read, and they never study, they never, for example, they never wants to take maybe, yeah, like soft skill training here, maybe communications training, and then how to be a leader, or leadership training. So, but in Indonesia, there are many programs that encourage the people to be good leader, to be a good communicator, etc. So it depends on the individual. Yeah. So in this case, so the teachers and the lecturers should also encourage the student to have, in order that the student can have long life learning. So we must motivate the student the importance of quality education. So by having good quality education, so the student can have better life, better food on the table, better clothes, etc. And then so talking about quality education, so we must know the component of quality education. What makes the quality education? Yeah. So in general, so education is a process for individuals to acquire knowledge, yeah, and skill, yeah. So, but we need a good process, is a good quality education, so the result obtained are maximized. So the component of education need to be are like this. So the first is relevant curriculum, yeah. So we must be able to design curriculum that can meet the individual's needs, yeah. And then we must also have quality teachers, quality lecturers, yeah. And then we must have adequate education facilities, yeah. And then we must be able to create learning environment, a positive learning environment, a comfortable learning environment, and fair and objective assessment. So these are the component of quality education. So what without this, so the education cannot be in good quality. So when we want to when we want to realize the quality education, so the institution, the school, or the government should, yeah, pay attention to the curriculum, should review the curriculum, and the curriculum must be relevant to the environment, yeah. And then quality teachers, like that, how to make quality teachers. So the government must have program how to quality teachers, and etc. And then, okay, so we have talked about the component, yeah. And then, so now, why is quality very important? Yeah, why is it very important, quality education? Yeah, I think everyone knows. Yeah, the first, yeah, so we know that. So the first is sustainable development goals for kids. Yeah, it says so. Education is classified to be SDG 4. Yeah, so SDG 4 is talking about education, quality education. Yeah, so when in Indonesia, so there is an increasing, yeah, literacy rate. Yeah, so from by the age. Yeah, so we have 90%. Yeah, so 90% of the people in Indonesia by age 15, yeah, is 90%, yeah. So increasing every year, yeah, from 2000 until 2022, yeah. Yeah, this the okay. I think the SDG also have goal, yeah. What so by 2030, so all the girls and boys complete free, equitable and quality primary and secondary school education, yeah. And then by 2030, so all girls and boys have access to quality early childhood development care and primary education. This is the goals of the SDG, yeah. And then by 2030, yeah, ensure all access for all women and men to affordable and quality technical, vocational, and quality education, including university. As I said, is the first importance of quality education. Yeah, yeah. So everyone, yeah, must be able to have.
You for a while, Prof. Yeah,
Yes.
because hardly to see your face already. Maybe you adjust your camera for a while, the position of your camera, because we are hardly to see your face.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Can you speak my face?
Yeah, yeah, but maybe you adjust a bit that can focus at your face.
Okay, 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 okay.
Do already. Uh,
Okay, can you? Okay.
ah,
So yeah. Okay,
yeah. Okay.
okay. And then promote equity in education, yeah, key to the unlocking potential. So we must promote the equity. So it means that all the people, yeah, be must be accessible to education, yeah, without, yeah, regardless of the socio-economic background. And then holistic development, so it's the important, to develop holistic, to have a holistic development. It means that I have explained before. So instead of giving the knowledge, skills, so the student must also instill with the values, yeah, physical activities like sport, music, yeah, extracurricular, and the responsibility and ethics, yeah. And then empower individuals. So it's been the empowerment individual. Empowering individuals means that the student is provided with skill and knowledge, yeah, etc. And the education can also drive the prosperity. So when the individual have good quality education, so the individual can get jobs, yeah, get better jobs, yeah, get a job. When they have get better job, they can have a good salary. When with good salary, they can have, yeah, better food on the table, yeah, better food on the tables, and then better clothes, everything, yeah. So so how to get that, how to get those, yeah, we must have good quality education, yeah. So it means that education can foster the prosperity, yeah. But the individual, instead of the having better job, and they also must have good responsibility, must good ethics, and must good values, or both good conduct. Yeah, it's good, it's quality. So if the individuals have a job and they have been employees, but they are not honest, yeah, they are not responsible, they always come late, yeah, etc. So it means that the education is not successful to make the people, yeah, to make the people, yeah, uh, have good values. Yeah, this is very important. Yeah, it's called quality education. Yeah, so education not only create the individual with good achievement. Yeah, but also education must create the individual with good values. Yeah, good values. It's very important. And that also foster social cohesion. So it means that the student the individual must be able to communicate with the people, how to communicate, yeah, how to work together with the people in the community, yeah, how to respect with one another. Is foster social cohesion. So with the knowledge they can help the people, yeah, with that problem. And then, okay, it is the importance of quality education. And then, so it is okay. We have talked about this, yeah. So point of view and reducing inequality and drive the economic growth. Yeah. So when all the people with good qualification have job, so it means that it will drive economic growth. Yeah, because the individual have a good job. Yeah. And then it is the goals of cultivation, lifelong learning. Yeah, this is lifelong learning. It means that a continuous learning process where individuals continue to absorb knowledge and skill throughout their life. Yeah, not after finishing the school, the studies, they stop studying, they stop learning. It's not good. Yeah, so it is. So we encourage student individual to have long life learning. It's very important. So in getting knowledge, there is no, that we never stop studying. So we must study uh, for for as long as we live in the world, yeah, until we die. So it's very important. Yeah, this is a long life learning. So it means that we like to read, to read the world, to read the situation. Yeah. So what's happened in the world? It's also learning. Yeah. Learning is not only reading the book. Yeah, but we must also be able to read the world, the environment. Yeah. So the student must be encouraged how to read the world, what happened. Yeah. So when they know what happened in the world, and there must be the change, so the student must be able to adapt to the change in the environment. So now we live in the era of technology, so the student must adapt to this. So the individual must study how to operate the technology is very important. Yeah, this is the beginning of the lifelong learning. So let us not stop learning. Yeah, because learning is a process. Yeah, not a destination. Yeah, but when we die, the learning stop. Yeah, when we die, but as long as we live, so let us not stop learning. Yeah, by making it a habit, so we must make it a habit to learn throughout life. We will become better individual, more competent, and ready to face any challenge that come our way. So if we want to win the competition in the market, so we must have good education. Yeah, good education. Yeah. So to have good education, so we must study throughout our life until we die. Is the meaning of the lifelong learning. So I think I never research. So how many students after finishing the study stop studying and or continue to study or read? That is right. I haven't researched this. Yeah, but in my opinion, so I sometimes do I sometimes ask my student, yeah, what will you do after finishing study? So they work, and sometimes they stop studying, they never read the book, etc. Yeah. So because they have stopped finish and study. Is it not good? Yeah, it's a good way. And then the second goal is the equity access. So every ensure equal opportunities for education. Everyone, yeah, has the right to have education. So regardless of gender, every man, every woman can have education, and regardless of economic status, yeah, ethnicity and global locations. Everyone in the world must have good education. Okay, and then global citizenship is foster a sense of global awareness, empathy, and responsibility to address global challenges, promote intercultural understanding. So it's been good. So to know this, yeah, so we must good quality education. And then, so this is the challenge. Yeah, the challenge in achieving quality education. What is the challenge? Yeah, so there must be a challenge. The first is education disparity. Yeah, it means that the socioeconomic inequality. So there must be the individual coming from the unlucky families, right? And then it's the problem. Lack of infrastructure and limited resources hinder access to quality education for many. So yeah, so the government must pay attention to this, yeah, education disparity, and then we can still find this condition in the world, yeah, but, in the world, yeah. So how to overcome the education disparity, okay, and then teacher training is very important, yeah, because so if we want to have good quality education, so we must have good teacher, good lecturers, how to have good teacher and good lectures. So we must so the government should train the teachers and should train the lecturers. Yeah, but so the what is the challenge? So we sometimes we are in as we have insufficient training and professional development opportunities for teachers. Yeah, this can infect the quality of education. Yeah, so it means that the government through the Ministry of Education should provide, yeah, like supply the seminar or the training for the teachers or lecturers, so the teachers and lecturers must be also adaptable to the environment, yeah, with a change dynamically, yeah. And then also digital divide. It's been that limited access to technology and internet connectivity prevent access to online learning opportunities. This is the challenge, yeah, yeah. So in in every country maybe, yeah, it's the three challenge, yeah, education disparities, teacher training, and digital divide. And then so this how to attain, yeah, how to attain the quality education, yeah. The first, so we must educate investment in infrastructure, in, yeah, in everything, yeah, in making the teachers and lecturers better and better, yeah, quality, and then in good quality. And then so, yeah, so must in infrastructure, in technology, in library, etc. So the government must adequate investment. So in according to our constitution, that the government has budget 20% for education. Yeah, 20% for education. Yes, it's for in our country. In this, the government has, through the Minister of Education, has budgeted 20% for education. Yeah. So from the 20% of education, from the part of 20%, yeah, is distributed to the qualified to make the teachers qualified and motivated. Yeah, and then this is the next is, so we must have also qualified and motivated teachers. The teachers must be qualified and motivated. Yeah, and the problem is how to qualified and motivate the teachers. Yeah, so it means that the government also should pay attention to the teachers and lecturers welfare. Yeah, and yeah, and then the government also, and also, yeah, encourage the teacher to change. Yeah, by following the seminar, by following the training, just to adapt to the change in environment. And then inclusive education. Yeah, so you see, when we talk about inclusive education, so all the people, all the individual also must have education, must provide. So the government also must accommodate all individual to have education, whether they have disability or not. Yeah, and so all the people must be accessible to education. And then to monitor and evaluation. So the government also monitor and evaluate the process of education. And then also, must the government and the school also must design the curriculum, and the curriculum must be relevant to our needs. Yeah, so if the curriculum is not relevant, only it's not good. Yeah, it's impossible to have good quality education. And then we must also create, yeah, learning environment and infrastructure. So the teachers or the school in general must be able to create a comfortable learning environment. So how to make the learning environment, so we can use many models of learning by making group, yeah, and then project, etc. Yeah, and then parent and community engagement. So the parent, so we must also, the school and the university must work together with the parent and community, and sometimes we can invite the parent to school, discuss, yeah, about yeah, about the education. Okay, and then this is the, so it is the, okay, the same, yeah. Okay, so health development. Okay, so we skip this, and then, okay, so what should the governments do for improving qualification? So it's been the teacher improve, the teacher empowerment, yeah. So it's been the school, or the university, or the government should provide develop professional, yeah, teachers, yeah, and lecturers to enhance their knowledge, skill, and pedagogical practice. So the teacher must also have learning, yeah, must also be trained, yeah, how to educate the student, yeah. If the teachers or lecturers doesn't adapt to the change, is not good, yeah. So the teachers are not qualified. So the teachers and lecturers must also adapt to the environment change, yeah, in the world. And the teachers and the lecturers must know technology, yeah. The teachers and lecturers must know the model of learning. So there's, so we know the traditional model of learning and the modern model of learning. Yeah. So for and with the teachers, so the teacher or lecturer should be trained. Yeah. So it's mean that the government, yeah, the government should provide this. Yeah. Yeah, through the Minister of Education. So there are many programs that has been offered by the government to 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 empower the teacher. Yeah. So it depends on the teacher or lecturers whether they want or not to follow the program. Yeah. Okay, and then the policy reform. Yeah. It means that the government should revise education policies. Yeah. A framework, and then align with the current needs and priorities, ensuring quality education for all. So the government should monitor and evaluate the policies. So the policies made by the government also must be adaptable to the change, to the environment change in the world. Yeah, what happened in the world. So maybe every 2 years or maybe 1 year, so that they must evaluate, yeah, the policy reform. And then collaborative partnership. So it means the school, the teachers at the school and must have, yeah, uh, partnership, yeah, partnership, and then work together, yeah, with the government, NGOs, and communities, yeah, yeah, to improve the education improve. So a school and university cannot work alone, yeah. They must need the other people's, the other parties also opinion, or assessment about the education, yeah. So it means that the government also encourage the school and the university to work together. So maybe the university can work with the industries, yeah, can work with the communities, yeah, and when work the NGOs, etc. Yeah, to talk about education. And then, okay, the conclusion, quality education is the foundation of for personal growth, social progress, and a better future. So it requires collective effort to overcome challenge, yeah, and ensure access to inclusive and empowering learning experience for all. So before that, I want to give message for the government. So related to quality education. So education is the foundation, yeah, upon which a prosperous and progressive society thrives. So it shapes our future generation, equip them with the necessary skill, and empowers them to become active contributors to the growth and development of our beloved of the country. Quality education is not just a privilege. Yeah, it is a fundamental right that each child deserves. Yeah, it lays the groundwork for individual and national success. So the benefit of investing in education are far-reaching, ranging from improved economy to enhance social cohesion and a thriving democracy. So we urge the government to prioritize and allocate sufficient resources toward ensuring quality education for all. The first step toward achieving quality education lies in providing accessible and inclusive educational opportunities. Every child, yeah, regardless of their socioeconomic background or location, should have equal access to education. This means building and renovating schools in remote areas, providing reliable transportation facilities, and making education financially accessible for all families. Ensuring that children can easily access educational institutions will help bridge the educational divide and promote a more equitable society. And then, to guarantee quality education, we request the government to invest in the training and development of our teachers and lecturers. Teachers and lecturers play a pivotal role in shaping the minds of our youth. Yeah. So it's essential that they are equipped with the necessary knowledge, skill, and techniques to deliver high quality instruction. Offering regular professional development program, supporting teachers with updated teaching material and resources, and incentivizing them for their education and commitment would go a long way in improving the overall quality of education in the nation. It is crucial to update the modernized and the curriculum to meet the demands of the evolving world. We must equip the students with skill that prepare them for the challenge and opportunities. And then school and universities play a crucial role also in molding young minds and preparing them for the challenge that lie ahead. It is through education that we can empower individuals to become not only academically proficient, but also well-rounded individual with strong values and critical thinking skill. It is crucial to update the modernize the curriculum to meet the demand of the ever-open world. We must equip our students with skill that prepare them for the challenge and opportunities. At our institution, one of our primary goals is to ensure that every student receives a quality education, where they are encouraged to explore their vision and develop their unique talent. We believe in nurturing an inclusive environment that fosters creativity, curiosity, and love for learning. Okay, and then to achieve this is message for school and university, yeah, related to quality education. To achieve this, we have implemented various strategies to enhance the quality of education at our school or university. The first, highly qualified educators. We firmly believe that the quality of education starts with the quality of educators. We have diligently recruited highly skilled teachers who are passionate about imparting knowledge and inspiring the student to reach their full potential. An updated curriculum. Our curriculum is carefully designed, keeping in mind the dynamic nature of the world. We constantly update our educational program to ensure that our students receive the most relevant, up-to-date information and skill. State-of-the-art facilities. We pride ourselves in providing our students with modern facilities that aid in their education, from well-equipped classroom to advanced laboratory equipment and libraries stocked with a wide range of resources. We strive to create an environment that nurtures intellectual growth. And then personalized attention. We understand that each student is unique and has different learning needs. Hence, we strive to provide personalized attention to a student, ensuring that they receive the support they require to excel academically. And the last, extracurricular activities. We firmly believe that well-rounded education involves more than just academic. The university or school provide ample opportunities for students to engage in extracurricular activities such as sport, art, culture event, and community service. This not only enhance their overall development, but also instill important values like teamwork, leadership, and empathy. Yeah, I think that's all. Yeah. Okay. I think thank you very much for your attention. So this is that can I've shared for, about quality education. What is quality education? And I return this to the moderator of this program. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Oh, there are a few questions. Okay, so thank you again, Associate Prof. Adi, so for your splendid and enlightening presentation. Oh, okay. So before that, I have some questions from the chat box, Prof.
Yes.
Dr. Kudip, what are some best practices from promoting inclusivity in higher education?
Inclusive teaching.
Mm.
Yeah. So inclusive teaching is education. Yeah. Inclusive education. Yeah.
In higher education, yes.
I mean repeat the question is not clear.
What are some best practices for promoting inclusivity in higher education?
In promoting the
Promoting the inclusivity in higher education.
Yeah, so inclusive education is mean that the government should provide the accommodation, yeah. So should accommodate the people or the individual with the with the individual with the disability, yeah, or with different social economic background, yeah. So sometimes in universities we have individual with normal situation and disability, so we must accommodate, yeah. So like for example, yeah, the first practice is we must accommodate an example in examination, so we can provide special room for the disabilities, yeah, how to do examination like that, yeah. And then so we must pay attention to the individual, yeah, especially, yeah. It's inclusive education, yeah. Okay, and it is the first, and then also there are individual with the from with coming from the poor families, yeah. Yeah, so the government can also, yeah, provide the scholarship, yeah, for the poor families, yeah, with good achievement and with good academic achievement, yeah. So it means this is inclusive education. So the government, the government goal is to promote all the people, all the individual in the world accessible to education. So is the one of there. So many people said, what about the people with disabled? What about the disabled people? Yeah, how can they study? How can they enter the education? Yeah, so it like so it's been there. The school or the the university must provide the equipment, yeah, be supporting the disabled to study, right? Yeah, it is. And then and then we may not don't bully and there must be the rule, yeah, not to bully the disabled people. So they must respect one another. So it is I have explained that the perspective. So yeah, every education must have the rule, yeah, the regulation, yeah, and then must instill the values and the ethics, yeah, in education program, yeah. It's very important, not only giving the academic achievement, yeah, yeah. So sometimes when the individual, yeah, when individual are only provided with the academic achievement without without instilling the values and ethics, that's not good, yeah. So when in the class, so we meet the individual with disability, yeah, and then so we must appreciate one another, respect one another, and the government should, yeah, provide the facilities for this, yeah, yeah, provide this, and then there's also there must also the exception, yeah. For example, in examination, in doing their example in the physical activities like sports, yeah. So they must have different treatment because they are disabled, yeah. It's in brief, so the government should give the prestige to the disabled, yeah, in order they can also be accessible to the education, yeah. Okay, I think that's all. Is it satisfied with my explanation? I think maybe the other can share also opinion. Never mind. It is my opinion, sir. It is my opinion. Maybe from the moderator can have opinion about this also.
Yeah. Perhaps Dr. Kudip, did Prof answering your question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Prof. Okay.
Yeah.
We proceed with the next question. Associated Prof. Adi. Oh, regarding to this, from Ono Gia, I think this is from the handphone, right? So, Prof, can we have the link to the video of the online lecture? Okay, so the link, as I mentioned earlier, you can get it from our Facebook page from Department of International Affairs. Okay, you can get it from there later on. Okay, the next question. Oh, our first speaker just now from Dr. Iswan. So, Salam Prof, thank you for the presentation. There have a few questions for you. Some educators face the issue of students being unmotivated to learn or study. I believe it should not fall solely on the educators to motivate students, as we have other KPIs to achieve as well. Is there any approach you would recommend for the educators or the governments to address this issue of lack of motivation in students?
Okay. So okay.
Yes.
Thank you for the question. It's a good question. So I want to answer as fast as I can. We can share together here, yeah. So to motivate the student, yeah, in studying, yeah. So how
Yeah.
to motivate? So I think the goals of our study is to make the best model, the best method in teaching is student engagement. So student centered, yeah, learning is very the best way, yeah. Or doing by learning by doing. Student kalau learning by doing is also good, yeah. So it's sometimes in my I want to give example in my university, so right, my Bhakti University. So I have implemented the model of modern teaching, like, yeah, collaborating learning methods. Yeah. So it means that I make a group. So I use the jigsaw method model of teaching. Jigsaw it means that example I form two group, yeah. So I teach consumer behavior, and I give them 6 topics, right? 6 topic of the consumer behavior, and then I create 2 groups. Yeah, the first group is home group. Yeah, so the home group consists of maybe seven students or person or people, and then the second is expert group. Okay, and it's in a home group. They must work together, and they together, and they divide the task for the members of the group. So I've given them 7 topic. Okay, who is responsible for topic, the first topic? Okay, for example, A, O, B, second topic. And then later, so maybe, for example, I have in the class there are 7 group, yeah, 7 home group, and then the student with who have got the first topic must must gather together with the same topic. Like, okay, so topic one must sit together with topic one. So there are seven students talking about topic one. So they are discussed together, and they must, in this way they learn how to respect, how to receive, how to listen to the friend, yeah, talking about this topic and the rights. And after that, so when they have talk and discuss and agree with one another, and they come home again to the home group, yeah. And this student must explain, must teach to the other group who don't get this topic. So it is also valid. It's also come into play to the second topic like that. It's a called jigsaw. So by doing this, so the students are active, motivated, and they like to do this. Yeah, in comparison, if I as a lecturer, I use PowerPoint and then explain the student, and the student keep silent and never talk. Yeah, so they only listen. And I understand, but yeah, this is not good because they are not uh, taught how to think critically. So they're not motivated. So they only keep silent, listen to the lecture. After that, finish, go home. This is not good, yeah. So in this case, the lecture must be creative, yeah, must be creative. Should be creative in teaching, yeah. So sometimes I teach also by song. Yeah, I teach consumer behavior, and I ask the student to create a song related to consumer behavior. And in fact, the student can also have good singers, and they can create song about consumer behavior. So we must improve the student. Yes, the model so the model of our teaching must be improve the student. And I think the government, the Minister of Education, uh, has uh, has has participated in this. Yeah, yeah. So the Minister of Education has encouraged the lecturers or the teachers in Indonesia to have this model. Yeah, but it depends on the lecturers. Yeah. So if the lecturers are not creative, so it's just boring. Yeah, only listen to the lecturers explaining via PowerPoint. Yeah, I don't like to teach like this. So in teaching, I always input my student to talk, discuss, and then giving them and then having them give opinion. So after that, if my student want to criticize my teaching, okay, please, I want to listen to my student, yeah. And what is the drawback of my teaching, yeah. So we can also get the feedback from our student about my teaching. Is it good? Is it boring? Or is it satisfied? So that, yeah. And what is the suggestion for my teaching in the next, like that? So I say, yeah. So in my opinion, the best model is collaborative teaching model, or learning by doing. Yeah. By teaching by teaching their own their peer student, they teaching among them. By teaching they can get knowledge. Yeah, they learn. So they must find the material on their own from the internet, and after that they discuss together with the friend, and then after that they go home to the home group. They teach their own friends. Yeah, it means that they can get knowledge, and the lecture is only facilitator. Yeah, if they don't understand, they can ask the lecturer, so that, and we can explain. It's the best way, I think. Yeah, but it depends on the lecture. So the lecture must be creative in teaching. Yeah, so the lecture must encourage the student to think critically. Yeah, so by doing this, we have taught, encourage the student to be active, to be responsible, to be honest. Is that okay? I think that's all.
So me that prof is like a two-way communication, right? Rather
Yeah,
than
that's that communication. So they also learn how to communicate with one another. So that, yeah,
yeah, like
yeah,
peers, how would say, at the same time, the interactions among
yeah,
the peers is
yeah, that's
important.
right. Yeah, instead
Yeah,
of when we compare with the traditional way, it's not good, like in traditional way. So the student only keep silence, sitting, listen to the lecturers, the lecturers explain and explain, yeah. After that, understand. Do you understand? Understand also understand. Never know, understand. But
Yeah.
when we ask in the Indonesian, they cannot answer the questions, right?
Mm.
So it
Yeah.
means that this is
Understood.
our culture. So by doing this, the teacher must encourage the student, yeah. So step by step, yeah, we must introduce this new method, yeah. All we can also introduce the technology, yeah, technology. After my teaching, so the student must video record uh, my teaching. So like this. So my student must summarize my teaching, the method of my teaching, and what we do in the class, and they must video record and explain the benefit of my teaching today, for example. And I
Okay.
use YouTube, yeah, YouTube, and then so I also introduce the technology, YouTube, yeah, and then they must be able to create the content in YouTube, so that, yeah, and in fact they are good, yeah, they're good, and when I ask them, yeah, wow, it's good, sir, that's good, I like this way, yeah, so it means that the student must be engaged in this study. They don't like to keep silent, actually, yeah, they like to be engaged, yeah, in everything, in speaking, in communicating, etc. Yeah, yeah, it depends on the lecture. I think that's
Mm.
all.
Okay. Thank you, Prof.
Yes.
One more question. Language, that is the English, have been a significant barrier in education.
Hmm. Yes.
Lecturers struggle to teach when students could not understand the language. Yeah,
Yeah.
most probably. So, is there a recommendation or strategies to address the issue of language barrier for
Yeah.
students on
Yeah.
their ongoing schools or university?
Yeah. So, okay, that's right. Okay, it's the one of the barriers, yeah, we face in educating the people with have different cultures. It's with different cultures, right? Different
Yeah, in
culture.
age.
One of them is language. Yeah, but in Indonesia, so our language is Indonesia. I don't know in Malaysia. In Malaysia is English maybe, yeah. In Malay.
In university, we actually communicate in full English lah.
English, yeah. What in our country, Indonesia, so in Indonesian, so it's our problem. So we have the problem of the language in. So, for example, I in my teaching I use English book, yeah. So that they cannot read the English book, they don't understand. It's the one barrier. So if the student individual cannot speak English, so they cannot master the world. I think because they cannot get a lot of knowledge, yeah. Because everything is in English, right?
Mm,
Yeah. And
how you overcome
what?
it, bro?
Yeah.
How you overcome it?
Yeah, so what is done by university? So I invite the the trainers from America, yeah, from America, from United States, yeah, to come to university and to train to train our student here to speak how to speak English. So yeah, in Pontianak, yeah. So I also did in Tanjung Pura. There is also an international class, yeah. Yeah, so they speak English. So if you want to, yeah, if you want to smooth the program so university must select, yeah, must have the rules to select the student with good English, yeah. So if it is international class, yeah, so the student who enter the international class must have a good proficient English. So it's not difficult to handle them because the requirement is English, right? So by having TOEFL score 500, yeah, or IELTS 7, yeah. So when they have a good score of higher and TOEFL, so they can enter the internal class. But in Pontianak, there's no there are no many international class in Pontianak. Only still local class. So the university is English. But for the a country who's with the school have the international class, so it's meant to handle overcome. So the recruitment of the student. So the school must require the student who can enter the school. They must have be able to speak English. Yeah, must be good at English communication, or by showing the certificate of TOEFL or higher is the way. Yeah, but if the institution doesn't require that, it's difficult. Yeah, every student can enter the class, but they don't have the ability to speak. It's difficult to handle. Yeah, yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult to handle the student without having the spoken of English, a good comment of English. Yeah, it's been from the institution, so must give must have the requirement of having spoken English for the student who want to enter the school. If the school use English as a means of communication, right? I think in Malaysia English is spoken in all bedroom instruction. It's used as a bedroom instruction at school, yeah. So it's no problem in Malaysia, but Indonesia, so in some countries, in Pontianak, so the teachers also speak English, the students speak English. So the lecturers cannot speak English in Pontianak. Yeah, so only so we use Indonesian. So sometimes when the student want to join the internal class, they must go to Java and then find the school with English as a means of communication in the education like that. Yeah. So yeah. So one of my suggestions that so the institution must give the requirement to individuals who want to enter the school. So they must have this and they must have this and they must have a good proficiency in English and then they must have TOEFL score and IELTS score. I think that's all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, at least an indicator, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prof, for your explanation. So I'm
Yeah.
sure that, and also thank you so much for your presentation and
Yeah.
participations as well for
Okay.
today's webinar.
Yeah,
So
you're welcome.
without further ado, yeah. So since this already 12:09, so perhaps yeah, the link, the attendance is already shared in the chat room. So in. Okay, so at the same time, perhaps I need everyone to switch on your camera for the group photo taking session.
So I can stop share, yeah?
Yeah, you can stop sharing, Prof.
Okay.
So please switch on your camera for the photo taking. How about others, huh?
Only some. Open
Yeah,
the camera.
yeah, I just see a few faces.
It's the problem when we have Zoom, so they don't want to open the camera. So
Yeah, that's the thing. Okay, so perhaps the technical team can screenshot as well. Not much, right? Not much is involved.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? Oh,
Yeah.
okay, ready. 1, 2, 3, smiling. Okay, another page. Okay, get ready. One more. Freestyle. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, done.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you everyone for your participation today. Yeah, don't forget, actually today is not the end yet because on behalf of our Global Exchange Guest Lecture Series, actually tomorrow we still have the sessions going on. But once again, thank you again for being part of the webinar today. So we're looking forward to see you again for the next webinar later on at 2 p.m. as well, okay, today. So I am Ting here, your moderator, signing off now. So have a wonderful day and have a good lunch later on. Okay, so see you again at 2 p.m. later on. Yeah, yeah, thank you. Yeah,
welcome. See you later. See you later.
thank you,
Thank you,
Prof.
everyone.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank
Iswan.
you
Yeah,
so much.
thank you for
Oh
participation.
yeah, good service.
Yeah, thank you.
Say, let